Welcome back to Under Oath. Two attorneys arguing. Jeff Kaufman, Craig Lynd. Let's knock this out.
Oh my God. 1940s radio voice over here. What's going on?
You know, I think the problem is once you do radio, your voice changes. Like the minute you have the mic in front of you, you think you're Wolfman Jack.
Is that right?
Yeah. Your voice gets deeper and suddenly goes, "Ooh, I love your radio voice. You should talk to me like that."
I heard they have the radio guys can adjust the bass in their voice. They can. I never realized that until I heard Bubba the Love Sponge. He called in his own show one time. He was in court for something, I don't know. But he called back into his show and his guys were running it. I'm like, who's that? Who's calling in? They're like, wait, is that Bubba the Love Sponge? He sounds like a regular guy.
Yeah.
He's not bassy at all.
Some people
but when he gets into the studio and he can adjust his mic or the volumes or whatever, he sounds like a completely different person. I want to do that for court. Can I do that?
You know, I learned when I was younger that I knew some guys had radio voices. They just had that voice. When you talk to them, they had that "how are you doing" voice, you know. And they didn't look like their voice. That's why when people say you have a face for radio, you know, when you meet these guys, sometimes you're going, God, you don't look like or women do not look the same way they look. It just, men look like short, dumpy dudes and, you know, just the way it is. Okay. Conflicts going on right now. The president is going to put ICE agents at TSA, replace the TSA guys who are basically not able to work because there's a shutdown and everyone's going nuts. Oh, Lord, these guys won't be able to keep us safe.
What do you mean? The ICE agents won't be able to keep us safe? Like TSA?
Well, they don't know how different skills.
TSA is like the sniper squad of keeping people safe on the airplanes?
No, but I guess they're saying difference between dentists and heart surgeons, that neither one can do each other's job. They're specialties.
Am I going to sound conceited when I say I think I could probably do TSA's job with almost no training?
Well, you have to learn how to look at the monitor and know what the colors are. I think you got to know the colors.
Are you joking?
I watched that person staring at the colors now, and I swear to God, it's like they're solving a Rubik's Cube. They're just staring at it and completely dumbfounded because they're going, what's the difference between a cord and a bomb cable? I mean, I don't know the difference.
Well, yeah, that training might be some helpful. The guy running the scanner, but there's a lot of people who aren't running anything.
Just standing there telling them how to put their stuff.
By the metal detector, waving you through. It doesn't seem to me like the learning curve for that particular job would be that high. And the guys who are loading the stuff onto the basket and pushing it into the thing, there's a lot of people there who aren't looking at a scanner.
Now, the weird part about this
is when you go through the metal
everyone's
detector.
mad. Everyone's mad because they're going, oh, the president shouldn't do this. And I'm not even going to say the word Trump because people get mad when you say the word Trump or Biden or whatever. But President Kaufman, let's go President Kaufman. I'm in charge. Congress is doing their stuff and they're all a bunch of selfish bastards. We know they are. Mm-hmm. They're all trying to get reelected. And, oh, we're being tough. No, you're shutting down the country for what reason? Oh, we're mad. Okay. And every side does it. Every side does it. Now, my thing is this. I think we need to pass a bill that when you decide to do that, you don't get paid. Like every congressman, whether you're House of Representatives or the senators, that you don't get paid. Also, you're not able to fundraise. I promise you this.
That's brilliant.
That problem would be solved today.
That's brilliant.
Because they need to raise $1 million a day, some of these guys.
That's brilliant.
But no, the real issue is, you know, if I'm president and I go, hold on, we're not shutting down the airports. I don't care. I'll get National Guard guys to work it.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I'll pay out of some fund. Now, here's the thing. Elon Musk goes, I'll pay everyone's salary.
I saw that.
But, you know, Elon knows he can't do it. They can't take his money.
Why can't they?
He's done that thing before where he goes, oh, I'll pay the military. He can't do it.
Why not?
It's illegal. You can't do it. Private citizens can't pay for that stuff.
Well, okay, but he can donate it to the United States and then the United States gets to direct where it goes.
No, he can't.
No?
Nope. Can't do it.
Well, that's a dumb rule.
So, he's also saying, hey, look at me. I'll pay. You know, it's like that guy at the table who knows he doesn't have to pay the bill.
If you know that your
He's already done it before.
offer will not be taken up, that's a little disingenuous.
It is. Now, everyone's mad about a lot of things. And here's the thing. Stop being mad. You, for example, you gave up watching some of the crazy podcasts you listen to.
Yeah.
And how happy were you?
Almost complete. You know what was happening? I was hearing all this bad news all the time. And all I was doing was getting mad about it. I wasn't actually doing anything, though. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not protesting. I'm not writing congressmen. I'm not passing legislation. I'm not offering to write legislation. I would just get mad. And then What do I do? What do I do once I find out something that's disturbing? What do I do with that?
You write it. You comment.
It does. Yeah, I'll rage.
I'm posting,
but that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Nope. All it does is detract from the quality of my life. So yes, I stopped listening to all the rage bait stuff.
I'm actually blocking everybody. I've warned them. If you come across my feed with any of your negative stuff, whether it be pro or negative Trump, I'm booting you.
Sometimes I can't help it.
I don't
Sometimes
care.
It's like, oh, that one's so good.
And here's what the algorithm does. The more people you block, the more people they show you. They think you're interested. I'm going, how does
you interacted with it?
I interacted with it.
Oh, so the algorithm goes, Kaufman was so offended by this type of content.
Yeah.
Let's just blast him with it. Try and get him to respond.
I mean, I'm booting a lot of people. I'm so tired of people who know nothing about certain things.
Did you boot me yet?
No, I just put you on 30-day pause. Here's the thing, people. I served some time in the Middle East. I spent 6 months in the Middle East. Anybody who thinks they understand what's going on there, I don't even understand. And I spent time there. But I do know the stuff you're talking about is nonsense. There is no democracy in the Middle East outside of Israel. Everyone knows that. It's a fact. And for those people who don't, well, it's socialism like Venezuela. No, it's not socialism like Venezuelan. You know, they will kill you in the street. That's the way it works. If they don't like what you say, they kill you.
Yeah, I just saw a news report about the Olympic wrestler for Iran.
Murdered.
They hung him for protesting. Can you imagine? My God, what sort of place do you live where you're protesting the government and the government hangs you for it?
Now, here's the thing. When people in our country, they go loco and they start defending other countries who are horrendous. I mean, these countries are horrendous. They're terrible. They stone their citizens. Women's rights they don't even exist. Like, for example, one of my law students, girl I went to law school with, went over to Iraq and started working on women's rights. They killed her first. She was the first one they took out.
Wow.
They didn't even think about it because women have no rights. And if you're a woman in this country and you're in this country and you appreciate what we have, don't support a country that doesn't. That would be like me going, hey, you know, those Nazis had a good idea. You realize how crazy that would sound coming out of my mouth. Well, I'm Jewish here, but I think those countries that treat, like France right now, anti-Semitism is brutal across Europe. Russia, France, England. I mean, synagogues are getting torched all over the world. And everyone's like, oh, we're good with that. And it's like when I do stand-up, when I realize that one of my jokes might have offended somebody, and I realize that the other 90% didn't, and I'm going, hold on.
You're chasing that 1%.
You get to pick and choose where you decide what's racist or not. Oh, we don't mind when you make fun of the Puerto Ricans, but making fun of these people are okay, not okay. The fact is, we don't look at the facts anymore. We don't look at the situation. We just look at what side we're on, and that's the great thing about going to law school. They made you work both sides of it. You know, we have to look at the sides and go, okay, now if somebody pays us, we got to look at their side. Okay, but normally you and I see something and we can go,
sometimes,
all right, this is a little silly.
Jeff, I got to tell you, sometimes I think maybe I've been an attorney for too long because someone will give me an issue and I'll say, well, I don't know what my opinion is. I really don't. Like, I could see both sides. Which side would you like for me to argue? Because I think I can make a good argument for each side. But I don't. After doing that for so many years, you start to not have your own opinion.
I don't know. You get caught up, and people, please, you hear this digital, what do they call it, a digital diet, where you go off for 10, 15 days. We can't live without our social media. We can't sit in the car alone for 30 seconds without looking at our phone. And ask yourself what the definition of an addiction is. And if you can say you're not addicted to your phone, you're lying. Pull up. There's a thing on your phone that tells how much time you are on your phone. And and ask yourself this. Do I have a problem? And they go, no, it's good for me.
Hold on. Tell me where to go.
You got to go to settings. You go to screen time. All right, and you got to turn it on.
All right. It's on.
Now, what's yours?
Wow. I've got 2 hours, 5 minutes daily average. That seems high.
Yeah. Okay. Now, here's the thing. How much you sleep a day?
At least 8 hours.
Okay.
7, 8.
That leaves you 16. That means 1/8 of your waking hours is spent on this phone.
That's insane.
That's almost 13% of your day.
Well, does it count my day if I listen to Pandora or something? Does that count as screen time?
No, I don't think so. You check your apps. It'll say what apps you're on.
Oh, gotcha. But so when screen time, that means that I'm staring at it.
Yeah, it's on. The screen's on. You're looking at something, and it'll break it down by app too.
Oh, wow.
We are giving our lives away to technology, and we're just idiots. And I realize that there is huge political influence going on in social media that is worse than it's ever been before, because now we're being targeted. And every reel I get now, I delete somebody, I block it, I say, I'm not interested in stuff like this. It just gives me more. I think eventually it's going to go, okay, we want this type of person off, or we want that type of person off.
Off of social media?
Off of, yeah, because they want to take over. And I don't know who they is, but they is bothering me a lot, because I just want cat videos. You know, Poochie, the monkey with the orangutan. I just want those. I want Samoyed videos and cat videos, and I'm not getting those. I'm just getting everybody's political opinion.
I heard somebody say this about social media. I don't think human beings, and this isn't my quote, this is me hearing from one of my podcast folks, human beings were not made to look at somebody getting run over by a drunk driver and seeing the family there next to the body, and then the next thing is some kid's birthday party where everyone is happy and having a good time and something funny happens.
Yep.
And I don't think our brains are wired to go from those two extremes. And so we just become numb to everything. Numb to the people getting hurt, numb to the people having a good time, numb to the people celebrating. It's just something to do.